now watching Animal Expedition Files.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Animal from Animal Expedition Files. Thank you so much for joining me here. It's a wonderful Saturday evening, and we got a lot of amazing things here. We got Natalie in the background having fun there, causing trouble as usual. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk skunk ape that smells around in Florida here, just like myself every time I have Taco Bell. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Maybe I am the skunk ape. Who knows? I sneak out and sleepwalk. So, but please click in, like, and subscribe on my show on YouTube, Dark Realm TV. Also, Squatch Juice. Click the link there, and amazing stuff. You don't want to miss out. Go check the link, and you could type in my code AEF10. So, yeah, check it out. Squatch Juice. Just the little, I don't know, right there. Take a picture of that. They'll take you to Squatch Juice, so check that stuff out. But I did make a little teaser for my documentary, a little teaser. So I'm gonna give you a little thing here on my documentary I work at Cobble Mountain Critter Festival. So check this out.
So we go out on a Friday night to go out with a group of us that had that were planning on staying. So we went down behind this area where when I arrived, everybody was already in the woods. So after kind of scouting around a little bit, we kind of went back to the truck. Some of us broke off, and then we started hearing owl sounds, or what we thought were owl sounds. So there was a lot of crazy barred owl-like sounds going off. And as that went back and forth for a little bit, I clearly heard some monkey chatter. It's unexplainable. It's an anomaly that we're still talking about and trying to uncover. There's a lot of explanations. Everybody kind of saw, felt something a little different. But something happened and we can't quite explain it.
Yeah, it's just a little snippet of a little taste of the documentary that I worked with such amazing people there. The festival was amazing, by the way. It rained on and off, but we got to Squatch. We saw a lot of footprints, more than I ever thought. I think it was like maybe 15 footprints that we saw, and geez, just the freaking whoops that we've heard back and forth. And behind us and forward it was like they were a mating call, maybe because I was there. They were attracted to me. That's it. That's why. But we're gonna have fun. We're gonna bring our guest here, Natalie, and we're gonna be talking about the amazing skunk ape here in swampy, hot ass Florida. So let's put her on. What is up, Natalie? How is it going?
It is awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a great show so far. A lot of people are watching, listening.
Yeah.
But if you guys, people that are watching right now and listening, please, we love your questions. We love everything that you guys do here. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So thank you, everybody. Mwah. You guys are amazing. Thank you for listening. But thank you, Natalie, for being here. I know I'll finally get to. I know you're going to Virginia pretty
West
soon.
Virginia.
West Virginia, which is
Yeah.
funny because I just talked to a sponsor, Squatch Juice,
Okay.
which said he's going to be seeing you there
Yep.
at the festival. So that'll be pretty cool. So
Yep.
yeah,
We're going to be
really
hanging.
cool
We're all going to be hanging out together.
Yeah,
In fact, I think I'm going to be volunteering for him.
yeah, definitely check out the squat. I'm telling you, this stuff. Like I said, click the QR code, take a picture. Like this stuff is, if I don't know if you like an energy drink person like I am, but like I'm like up every day taking care of kids, all that stuff, family, and plus squatching, podcasting, scuba diver, all this other crap at work. Yeah, you got to make money so you could do all that stuff.
Right. Right.
And-
We ain't making money doing this.
no, maybe one day, but like I need the energy. Like I'm a coffee fiend. I love coffee. I love drinking coffee. I literally drink coffee till like 1 a.m. sometimes, which will probably happen tonight because I'm going to be working more on the documentary editing and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but Squatch Juice, this stuff, like there's so much healthy benefits compared to like any like Monster or any Ghost energy drinks. All those stuff says it has like zero this, blah blah blah, and it has all that crap. I'm telling you, this stuff will like there's no crash. You'll feel good about yourself. You ain't gonna want to like throw stuff at people, and you'll be the most happiest person in the world. So like try it. Like I said, QR code, and it'll take you to Squatch Juice site, and then type in my code AEF10, and then you'll get a little discount there. If you use my little code there. It's pretty fun, but check it out.
I'll be chugging that up there because this festival's 3 days long.
Yep. That's how it felt like when I was squatching in Massachusetts. I got there on I think it was like a Thursday or Wednesday, and I was squatching like I didn't get no sleep, barely. Like they're like, let's go squatching. We went up in the mountains. We did some paranormal stuff too, which was really
cool.
We got to see some apparitions, a lot of balls of light, Sasquatch. These weird calls that we got back and forth that I've never heard in my life. And it was weird. Like at first it sounded like borrowing like these owls at first, but then it turned in from owls into whoops and then whistles. And then they like came on all different different like front of us, behind us, left, right. It was like kind of like playing a game with us. Like, oh, I'm over here. No, I'm over here. No, I'm over here.
There's a discussion around that. I know here in Florida specifically about how you hear an owl and then all of a sudden weird things start to happen. And I have witnessed that on several occasions. Like all of a sudden you hear an owl and boom, you start hearing noises that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is that? Because that's not a bird. That's not anything that I know about. Then it just weird stuff starts to happen. So it is pretty cool. So I always listen for the owls first.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's like to me, like I know here in Florida, like compared to like since I had a look, because I'm originally from New England and I moved here about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. I can't remember. But the difference between squatching here and up there is totally different. The energy here is more electrifying, I could say, because and more intelligent in a way where it chases you. Like we've had like these balls, they say balls of light is also an energy from Bigfoot, UFO, which connects to UFOs. And sorry, I use my hands a lot.
No, it's fine. I do too. And you know what? Talking about that, we just got a great question from Chris about this, like the paranormal activity and how it being related. And I witnessed that as well. It is so weird. And I know like you'll get these orbs or balls of light,
Yeah.
disembodied voices, and then all of a sudden you hear these knocks coming around, and it's like all of this happens in the same area. So I think a lot of it is that energy.
Yeah.
And how you, and also it's how you present yourself.
Yeah.
So if you present yourself in a threatening way and you go out there like a hunter, you're not going to get a whole lot, or you're going to get aggression. But if you walk in with a positive mind, body, and soul, then you're going to get that feedback.
See, like in Florida here, we always wear like a thing called snake boots. I know if people are not familiar with that, in Florida, we live in swampy gators and snakes, spiders, anything that could eat you and digest you. It will. But you have to wear protection. You know, it's either like a knife or a gun or boots. You know, you need something to protect you because it will get you. But like, I'll never forget when we went into these woods and we were literally like knee deep in a swamp, and this ball of light. Like you would think like, oh, maybe it could be someone holding a flashlight, but you're in water. You would hear the water moving around. It was dead silent. And this ball of light that illuminated, but inside it didn't illuminate outwards. It just stayed in like a crystal ball. And it just followed around, just like literally. And then we would move back because it started going towards us. Then it went around the tree line and made a B round to like, so we don't go that way. So we went another way, and then it went another way to like chase it. We're like, well, maybe this thing doesn't want us here. Like that's why people ask, like, could that be Bigfoot? Could that be UFO? Could that be paranormal? Or could that be a wormhole? Like, there's so many aspects. Or could it be all things at once? Which
I don't know.
Relates to Dogman too, because Dogman has been spotted when Bigfoot is spotted. So it could all be one entity, which to me, I've come to a conclusion, a little bit depending on how I feel that day, that it could be a skinwalker. Could Bigfoot be a skinwalker?
It's really weird when you experience it, because you're like, you know, there's intelligence around this. Yeah. Whether it's an intelligent spirit or entity or something with intelligence controlling it. And because it will respond to you, just like your experience, it was corralling you to get you to where it needed you to be. I, for one, experienced these orbs in the Smoky Mountains. And there were several of them blocking our path. Like we couldn't go forward or backwards. And it was almost like they just wanted to observe us. And they were like orange and red. And then there were others that were blue. Oh, wow. And they were, they were observing us for about 15 minutes coming in and out. And then about 15 minutes later, maybe they got bored, or they were like, okay, these are not, they're not going to harm, they're not harmful people. They just disappeared. They were like, bye. And then we were able to leave, but it was pretty cool. It was a great experience.
Yeah. It's very interesting, this whole thing. Part of me was almost like, if this is a UFO, can you take me now?
Yeah,
like, literally.
Know.
Because if it is, take me now, so I don't have to pay no more bills. I won't be any more in debt.
Nope, don't have to go to work anymore.
No, I'll be like, is this paradise? I'm like,
yeah.
And they'll be like, yeah, bend over. I'm like,
we're gonna
I'm out.
You. No, and you're like, now you're weighing the options. Is it really that bad?
I mean, it might not be that bad. I mean, some people said it's not that bad. I've heard of people who've gotten abducted and they say it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
I mean, if you gotta take it, you gotta take it. I guess that's better than paying a mortgage every day.
Oh, the things that we think about because of all of our responsibilities. It's like, well, is it really that bad?
I don't know. It just drives me nuts. Like, like everything that goes around in this world, like it's a madhouse right now. Like every time I turn on the news, like war, this, people are getting mad at each other and fighting. And that's why I love doing these shows, because it gives me a sense of positivity where we could put that light back into where it's dark.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I mean?
agree.
And I think with talking about paranormal and Sasquatch and whatever it could be, conspiracy theories, like lately we've been talking about flat earth and the watchers and all kind of crazy things. And like, do I believe in all that stuff? I don't know, but like it's cool to talk about it because it gets you away from the reality of what's going on in this world right now. And I
Right.
think that's what a lot of people need, is that space of comfort to be able to laugh. Yeah, I talk about potty humor all the time and all this stuff, but because it's to make people laugh, and I love seeing people laugh and happy and joyous and stuff like that. But like,
Yeah.
that's
That's
my
why, that's why I post the stuff on my Facebook account and my Instagram account, is just to make people laugh, because, there are so many people out there that are, they don't feel that they belong, or they're having a rough day, or they haven't laughed in so long, or they're in tears having to go to work or whatever. If this brings them, my post brings them a little bit of happiness,
yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. It is. It's like, and I was at the mall early and I found this little toilet thing where it pops a head out. I was like, oh, mystery toilet. I'm like, oh, it's my head that pops out. It kind of looked like me in a bit. I was like, that's funny. I'll post that. That looks funny enough.
I saw that. I was like, what is that?
It's like the dumb things you do that, whatever it takes. Doesn't matter. Like, you just want to make people laugh. That's the point of these shows, and why people want to tune in to shows like this, because they just want to get out of that reality. And that's what I if I could accomplish anything, like, I hope that this show like makes it, even if it's just one person happy. That would make me happy.
Absolutely. And to your point, the field of paranormal and cryptozoology, and maybe just Bigfoot, I was studying that for years and years and years, but really never dove into it until the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And since then, I found my tribe, so to speak. I found other people that are like-minded and that want to go out and explore and have fun and just laugh and, get together and go camping and, do a night investigation, which is so cool. And, go to these conferences, and Brian, who's on here, Brian Corbin, we met at a conference and online and stuff. So you meet all these wonderful people, and you really have this network, like a family of a network. And my goal I just filmed a documentary in March with Relic Films. And my goal is to show other women my age, you're never too old to get out and do this stuff. You're never too old, or, just go on a trail, look up, there's plenty of sites online and apps that you can take a look that were the most recent sightings, and just go out and explore and meet people in these conferences. And just recently I had 2 women separately reach out to me going, you know what? I love this. I love what you're doing. And they're around my age. They're like, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go out there and explore. When's the next conference? When's the next time you're going to go squatching? When's the next time, when's the next time that anything is going to happen? And so I'm really trying to reach out to, get this out there going, you're never too old. Don't be afraid to do this. I know it can be a little scary being out in the woods, but once you do it once, and you're in the nighttime and that moonlight's hitting down and you hear a knock or a whoop or a scream, and that's it, you're hooked.
It's like a drug. You just want
It is.
like there's times like where I've actually fell asleep in the woods, not on purpose, but like because it's so peaceful. I used to do hog hunting, a lot of hog hunting,
Mm,
and when I would be hog hunting, I'd fall asleep because it was so. I would just hear the leaves just brush around past you, just the wind hitting your face in the tree stand, and I would always fall asleep, and there'd be hogs past me. Who knows? It might have been Bigfoot, but that would have been cool. But like, it's just the calm. It's like a calm before the storm,
mhm.
being in those woods. And I know I haven't gotten we haven't talked about like how you started this. We're gonna get into that in a bit.
Yeah.
And plus talk about Ocala, because Ocala, I have a lot of experience with
Yeah.
Ocala and some crazy stuff down there. But we're gonna talk about some funny stuff. Let's see. Oh, Manchester, England. Hey,
Yep.
what's up, brother?
All right.
Virgil. Hey, how's it going, brother? That's awesome. Also got another one. I can't remember his name, but he from man, my brain is going away. I hate when that happens when you like try to think of their name and it's like it just
Oh, I do it all the time, every day.
he's from Scotland. Damien from Scotland. He's also a Bigfooter paranormal and
That is awesome.
but he's that guy. You want to know somebody who's on like 24 Red Bull? That guy. He's up every night. I don't know how this guy does it, but coolest guy ever. I've talked to him on the phone and we've had some FaceTime chats, and he's a very interesting dude. That's for sure. But no, I want to show this little video here. It's pretty funny. I don't know if anybody's been watching these Sasquatch videos.
Oh, yes. I'm addicted.
I just found one that was kind of it's funny, but you gotta check it out for yourself. Here you go.
There's a spirit here. Oh, fuck! What the hell was that?
The ghost threw a chair at me.
That was your dumbass. Stop throwing shit.
I got scared, okay?
Okay, I'm not built for this. It's literally right outside. I smell sulfur and Axe body spray.
I'm gonna spear that ghost if it opens this door.
Nope, get me out. I'm gonna shit.
There's a temperature drop behind me. Something's manifesting. It's wet. It's warm.
Bro, is that you? What the fuck is that?
Don't move. It thinks you're submissive.
It's marking me.
Okay, I've been spiritually pissed on. That's a first.
That wasn't me, bro. That was a class 4 spectral urination.
You made eye contact.
So did the ghost.
I love those videos. They're so funny. Hey Donna, how's it going? Yeah, it's I don't know.
That is brilliant. I love those.
They've been so popular and they've been making like millions of views. Like I see it every day now. And there's always something different. They're doing politician ones, and just like about this war, but they're funny as hell.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh, and I like showing those little things, but they're pretty cool.
They are so awesome. I get them sent to me all day long, and I just they're new. I don't know how they're coming out with so many new ones so quickly.
It's just the computer of AI and all that stuff.
Wow.
It's nuts. But let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
How did this passion of yours started, and where did it start?
So I grew up in West Virginia, in Appalachia. And so I grew up, you've heard of Bigfoot, but everybody laughed it off like, oh, that's, but I grew up in an area where you hear that, you don't go outside, you don't go out in the dark, your blinds are closed. If you hear something in the woods, no, you didn't. That's how I grew up. So it was pretty normal to me. So I moved to Florida and I started hearing a lot of Bigfoot encounters. And I'm going, what? So I was like, I dove in the deep end going, okay, I want to learn more about this, about what are the encounters, what's going on in the local areas. And then I started watching videos and reading books and then watching the shows. And I'm like, I think there might be something more to this. So last year, I got a birthday present for myself, which was a VIP pass to the Ocala, Florida Bigfoot conference. And so went there, networked with a ton of people, talked to a lot of Florida residents who have had encounters all over South Florida, Central Florida, and North Florida. And I was like, there's again something more to this. And then that's when I dove in and started going out on my own. I went to the Big Cypress National Forest where the skunk ape headquarters are. And I went camping last October by myself down there because I wanted to make myself look vulnerable to see if something would come in.
Yeah.
So there were no other campers around my area. I was all by myself. And the first night I was there, and about 1:30 in the morning, I heard this high-pitched chirp. And I'm going, that doesn't sound normal. And then within about 3 to 4 minutes, I heard very large footsteps right beside my tent. And what sounded like a child, like a toddler trying to talk, but they can't talk.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, it was a Florida panther. It was a male panther in heat. And I laugh. I'm like, oh, it saw a cougar in a tent and wanted to come over. And so, but I was like, that's great because now I'm able to get something to come in. I was vulnerable, which was really cool. So the next night, more people came in, so nothing happened. But I went back about a month later, and I was laying there in the middle of the night. And to your point, I heard an owl. And then out of nowhere, way out in the swamp, I heard two things talking back and forth. I couldn't identify what it was. It wasn't a bird. It wasn't any animal that you could possibly think of, but it was really, really like you could tell that they were talking and it was really loud.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped. And I've heard of other encounters like this in that area of that type of back and forth talking. And of course, I couldn't go out there because it's in the swamp. It's in the middle of the night and nobody else was around that was even awake. So I was just trying to figure it out. And then went up to Ocala this past weekend and had a really cool experience up there.
Oh, man.
So my friend Dwayne Dyer and I went out the whole evening and we were putting bait out. We were putting, I got some dog toys. I had heard that they love squeaky dog toys. So I went to the dollar store, bought a bunch of them and we were setting them out. And then we went to this one area where if you look at it on a map, it looks like a little postage stamp of an area that's owned by the military or the government. It's not the bombing area. It's just north of there by the Indian Mounds. And we got there probably about 1:30 in the morning. And as soon as we were walking to the edge of the water, because there's a river that runs through there, we heard knocks. And I'm like, okay, well, I heard that. And then we heard two whoops, one from one side of the property and one from the other side of the property, almost like a warning, like, hey, somebody's coming.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get over there because it's government owned. There's no trespassing on that property.
Yeah.
So we hung out for another little bit. And then we heard what sounded like a woman's scream from that property. And then nothing.
Wow.
I used my therm. We stood out there and it was almost like they knew we were there, but they were not going to even make a sound or even come to the edge to show themselves.
Yeah, that's funny because I almost had an experience like that. Me and a buddy of mine we stayed in Ocala Woods, right near where actually, I don't know if you know this, but like a big dip area where they say it's like very spiritual, big hole. You could climb down there, but
Yes.
it's very deep and it's very paranormal. A lot of paranormal activity. Apparently, there was like a lot of tribal Indians that used to go in that hole and
Mm-hmm.
do some sacrificing and a whole bunch of things. So we sat our tent right near that hole, which was, that's what we do. And it was nighttime. It was three of us, and that little window like on the tent. And
Yeah.
it folds down. You can fold it up, so
Yeah.
like it doesn't rain in. So we're sitting there. We're like laying there, right? And we hear this noise, like a woman screaming, and then we heard another one, like weird, like they're attacking each other. So I got up and I'm like, let me zip this. I don't think that's gonna protect us, but okay, good night. So like if it was like a cougar or whatever it was, well, we're screwed anyway.
Yeah.
The shade ain't gonna text it. We're like, well, we're too tired for this. Let's just put this up and hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've heard stuff like that in the woods and tree knocks, and I know there's a cemetery there in the middle of Ocala Woods too, which a lot of people don't know about. Where there's a lot of ball lights of anomalies, eye shine, a lot of UFO activity. They said that happens in that area, but yeah, we've had a lot of crazy stuff that happened in those woods.
Yeah, it was. I know the area that you're talking about, that giant hole that witnesses have seen orbs coming out of that area and shooting up to the sky and coming back down.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. I don't know what to think of it, but that's what I love doing this, is to go out there and to be able to get some evidence and have fun doing it while you're out there, just having a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff that I would love to do, to be able to kind of catch these Bigfoot, have some ideas, but one of them was Taco Bell. Bringing Taco Bell out there. 'Cause you never know, they might be attached to some spicy Doritos, or
They may. I mean, again, they may need a drink along with it. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know, but if they eat it, you'll be able to hear them at night.
Yeah,
because once they eat it, then
that Taco Bell will go through real fast.
Oh, it will, like fire. So you're gonna be hearing them at night. So I think that's foolproof. I gotta try it. It's gonna happen one day or another.
Yeah.
Or it could be a bear that takes it and then they're screwed.
I witnessed something that I've not witnessed yet here in Florida, but I witnessed it in the Smoky Mountains, and which I've heard reports of it. And I was just like, that's odd, until I actually witnessed it. You're out in the middle of the woods, you're miles away from anything, and you hear a metal on metal knock or a metal door slam. And I'm like, what? It was so weird. So we're out there doing an investigation pretty late at night. We're a couple miles in, and there's nothing around. And we hear metal on metal knock 3 times.
Oh, wow.
So we sit there. We're sitting there real quiet, not moving. And then a few minutes later, it moves towards us. A metal knocks twice. And then it happens again, even closer. And this was just behind the tree line. And we can't see anything on the therm. We're not seeing anything other than what we're hearing. And then we saw a very bright flash of light.
Yeah.
And then there was an orb. It was very bizarre, but I have never witnessed that here.
Yeah. it seems like every single state has its own little flair of something paranormal wise or something crazy, you know, and a lot of it has to do like here what is the weather. Let me give you an example. Well, not the weather, but the electricity too. I did a private investigation for a client that was experiencing vomiting, seeing these apparitions like crazy. It was a couple, they kept fighting and all this kind of stuff, and it just got worse and worse over time. And to make a long story short, we got called in. When you walk into this house, literally your hair is standing on your arms, literally like goosebumps, like crazy. And and then so I pulled an EMF detector out like right away, and the whole house was full of EMF everywhere, like the bedrooms, the hallways, and stuff. And we were starting to hear things. Hey, MK, what's up? Hey, Ernie, what's up, buddy?
Hi.
Ernie, another amazing person. That's also going to be in the documentary. Awesome guy. Which was also at Cobble Mountain, so it was really cool stuff. But I was like, well, let me go in your backyard. Can I see what your backyard is? So they took us in the backyard, and you know what was in their freaking backyard?
Oh no.
The main power grid that controls the whole community in their backyard, and you can hear bzzz. And as soon as you step in the backyard, you could feel your skin crawl off your body.
Oh.
So because of that high EMF, they were seeing paranormal. The wife was throwing up a whole bunch of times, seeing like getting scared all the time, and they were causing the fighting. And I said, well, I'm giving you the best prescription ever for this. I said, get out of here.
Yeah.
Because this will literally kill you. And I told him like
That's awful.
This is damaging your mind, your body, spiritually, mentally, physically. And then later on, we heard that they sold the house. And
thank God.
Everything went very well. The paranormal stopped and all that. But people don't realize like electricity, how much damage it does, and what you could see in paranormal wise, and how it brings it alive. Which is another thing that another theory that I kind of wanted to talk to you about. Speaking about paranormal, because we talk about this EMF and stuff, and people see things. And the only time you see paranormal is when this EMF stuff happens. Or something like, because if we go to these old places like the Winchester House, all these places that have exposure of EMF, of open wires, electricity that was not protected at the time because of code. Could that be the reason why people are seeing these entities? Because it's making us see these entities because of that EMF. It's kind of like boiling our minds in a way.
It very well could be.
Yeah, because it makes a lot of sense. And I know I've had a lot of experience. Like my house is haunted. Like I've seen like stuff happen and stuff like that. But could that be because of the electricity in the air? Because we get a lot of thunderstorms here in Florida.
Oh yeah, we do.
Especially in the past week. So my house has been rampant because of it. So what I'm trying to say is, could that be the problem why we're seeing all these entities at that time?
Yeah. And I mean, you've heard about trains passing by causing that activity to increase. And, I think it really has to do, you hear about entities and souls are energy. We're all energy. So if there's energy around, that could feed them.
Yep.
I mean, I lived in a haunted house this past, the house before I moved into here. I'm in a townhouse right now, which is absolutely not haunted at all. There's nothing here. But the house that I was in we had all kinds of activity. In fact, the whole neighborhood had activity.
Yeah.
And we would sit around talking about, okay, what's your activity today? Or I would get a phone call going, I had a vase move. But my activity, it was weird. We had knocks on a cabinet door, or, things move. But I do have a story if we have time.
Oh, we have 15 minutes, so we got time.
Okay. So if you've already heard the story, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to tell it again because it's worth telling.
Oh,
so when I was married, my husband at the time, retired Green Beret, we moved into this house and we had a ton of boxes to unpack. So we're unpacking these boxes and I come across one of his boxes and I'm doing it. And there was a little box in there and I opened it up. And there was a bracelet in there, cute little plastic bracelet. You know how you put those little beads on and whatever. I was like, oh my God, how cute. I'm like, did one of your kids make this? Oh my God. And so he's like, oh no, that's a souvenir off my first kill.
Oh, wow.
I went, you brought this into my house. And so I'm like, you got to get rid of this. He's like, no, that's mine. I'm like, no, I'm like, there could be. And he's like, oh no, you're kidding. No, you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. Totally dismissed it. Then where this box went, he put it somewhere, but it was still in the house. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
A few months later, I had a shadow figure appear. Now, where the garage was through a door, and there was a laundry room, master bedroom, master bathroom, and then the closet, and then a guest bathroom, all in one area. Well, the shadow dude would just hang out in this area. He would peek around, never did anything. I saged, I Palo Santo'd, I prayed, I did everything I knew what to do. And finally, I was like, listen, I laid down some ground rules. And I'm like, here are the ground rules of this house. I'm like, you will not bother us. You will not cause any harm. You will not be, you will not do. And I listed everything that he wouldn't do. And we lived perfectly fine. I'm like, you don't want to be here. I don't want you here. Let's just try to get along.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was okay with him peeking around corners. I was okay with him just like peeking and looking, never did anything bad. So then about 2 years ago, I was laying in bed, fell asleep, woke up to shadow dude standing over me, watching me sleep. I'm like, no, I screamed. My daughter came downstairs running, like, are you okay? I'm like, and she was like, was it just a nightmare? I'm like, yeah, it was just a nightmare. Totally lied. Didn't want to scare her.
Yeah.
So the next day I saged, Palo Santo'd. I'm like, you crossed a line, dude. I'm like, you can't do that. I'm like, I don't care how, okay you are with me. That's never okay. It was fine. And then as the divorce was happening, the energy levels shifted in the house. And my son was coming out of the guest bathroom late at night. And from the master bedroom, which was dark, an entity growled at him.
Wow.
And he comes upstairs. He's like, Mom, I just got growled at.
As soon as you said that, my dog started growling.
Really?
It went right.
Oh my gosh. So it was, oh my gosh. I had the biggest come to Jesus meeting with Shadow Dude. I'm like, you will never. I'm like, I will drag you. And I just made a whole list of things that I was going to do to him.
Yeah.
Well, then right after that, the kids and I went away for Thanksgiving. We're gone a week, came back during the day. The kids went inside the house. I got my stuff. I followed them. I walked in. I looked in the master bedroom and Shadow Dude is standing there staring at me. I said, is this how we're going to start this off? And he disappeared. And then that's when my ex moved all of his stuff out, took it to a storage. Shadow Dude was never seen again. And the air in that whole area just lifted.
Wow. That's nuts.
So I lived with a shadow figure for years, but we had a mutual agreement. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he never harmed anybody ever.
Yeah.
But it was just like, don't cross that line.
Yeah. No, I know if it was me, if he did that, it'd probably like fart or skin. Maybe
Here's
that
some Taco Bell.
cleanse him out of the house, like fart him out or something.
All you see is a shadow dude running out of the house. No more. I can't take it.
No, that's what would happen if I got scared the shit out of me. That would happen to me. But no, that's crazy because like I hear stories all the time where, especially the one that I've been to, because I've been to a lot of investigations where you don't get a lot of activity because people think like Ghosts is like a movie, that they're gonna come and grab you or adopt you or like take you by the feet until I did this one investigation in Brushy Mountain up in Tennessee. Speaking of Tennessee, Kentucky, Bigfoot.
Yeah, I see that.
What's up, brother? Anchor points for an entity. So our item anchor points for an entity. Yeah. Honestly, I believe that items could be an anchor point for an entity,
Yep.
like especially if you go to like any like Goodwill or antique places, like people who passed away. There's things that actually get attached to those. Especially, I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "That's bull crap," because you hear it on Ghost Adventures. I'm gonna say no. This stuff happens. Demonic stuff can attach to things of anything. It could be a watch, it could be a shoe, it could be a piece of clothing, it could be jewelry, this microphone. It could be anything that they could attach to. Look at that doll that is traveling around and causing trouble right now.
Yeah.
The Anna doll. It can attach to things, and I don't play around with stuff that attaches to things because you don't want to mess with it and piss it off, because things can happen. And I've heard so many stories from so many people that people have perished because of these things that were attached to something. But in that case, yeah, it does attach to things. I hope that answers your question, MK. But in that statement saying, I did go to Brushy Mountain Penitentiary where I thought, I would never see anything come out of a movie. Which it did happen to a woman in a prison that literally got knocked down on the floor, dragged across the floor, lifted up on the air, and slammed on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
After that, they never did the paranormal ever again. Haven't seen them on like online or anything like that. I think they got out of the paranormal. But it's the most craziest thing that anybody has witnessed, and stuff like that can happen. But a lot of people are like, well, is that demonic or is that just negative energy? It could be either, honestly, because I have dealt with demonic energy before, which I don't advise people to do, because it's not good. Also, but demonic energy between negative energy is totally different. Negative energy is when someone died negatively. Like, say if you're negative at life, that's how you're going to be when you're dead.
Yeah.
You're going to be a grumpy old ass person. That's who you're going to be when you're dead. That's negative energy. Now, demonic energy is like poltergeisty, where things are flying at you, hitting you, scratching you, things of that nature, make you fall to your knees, and just you pretty much you don't have control of your body. But in that saying, like I said, when you do paranormal stuff, just go with an open heart, but also make sure you're protected. Because especially in the woods, going Sasquatching, because it's not just Sasquatch that you're dealing with. you're dealing with paranormal, you're dealing with. Let me give you another example. I have tons of stories. I could be here all night. But I did an investigation in the woods in Kentucky. Did not expect this to happen, but there was a witch in the woods. We went upon this witch. I'll never forget it because I had a camera. I had a body camera, and it was working at the time. And this camera was pointing to this person that was in the woods, and she had a purple dress, long white hair. I still remember to this day. And while I'm filming this, we get closer and closer, and she's just hunched over, and our hair is just like literally rising from our skin. And the lady next to me, which is a good friend, and they said we can't go any closer because she's telling us that's not a good idea. We should stay here or leave. So we started backing up. And so we left whatever that entity was, and we got back to the place, and I went to go check my SD card. I've never seen this happen on technical issues like this before, but the SIM card was burnt.
Oh my.
Literally, you couldn't play anymore. I tried every other camera, computer, it would not work, but I could put a new one. It worked fine, but that specific SD card got burnt.
Isn't that crazy?
And when we went to after I checked that, there was a lady there, and you wouldn't believe what just happened. She's like, "Don't tell me." Was it a lady in a purple dress with white hair dangling down? And when she said that, my heart just dropped out of my mouth, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Someone talk about they turned Brushy Mountain Penitentiary into a moonshine store. Or yeah, they did do that. When I was there, the moonshine store was closed when I was there, but I was kind of sad because I like moonshine. So but that's what happens. But a ghost bomb, so I'm going to be a lighthearted ghost bomb. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, MK.
No, definitely Brushy Mountain Penitentiary. And the crazy part after that, I had dreams about that place, calling me back, and I haven't been ever since. But there will be a time I will be back. But that kind of place kind of ruined me paranormal wise. That's why I haven't been back. But eventually I will go back to face whatever that was, because it was was it my ex-wife? That wasn't your ex-wife. But yeah, it's just interesting with how paranormal that you could go to a place and nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then you go to a place that doors open and shut, or you could be carried away by a Bigfoot,
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I'm hoping that'll happen to me one day, but
one day, yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, like if I was a way to go, like honestly, by a Bigfoot, I'd be happy. I'd be content.
Yeah,
I know my family wouldn't be, but I know.
I told the folks at Relic Films, I'm like, listen, if I get attacked, make sure that you get it on film. Yeah. I'm like, don't save me. Get it on film. It's going to make great television.
Someone hold on. This I don't know why my computer's so stupid. Was attacked by a flying thing, Kentucky mountains. 3 toes. Kentucky mountains have some mean stuff. Oh yeah. And also a lot of voodoo stuff, and a lot of witchcraft and everything up in Kentucky. I've seen some weird stuff like that, which I told you about, but yeah, some weird stuff. What time is it? I don't even know. It's almost time.
Oh my gosh, that flew by. I could talk for another hour.
I could talk forever. That's the one thing about these shows. Like, I would say I should do 2 hours on these shows, but I don't, because you got so much you got to deal with editing afterwards and put little clips on, and so people can see and all this other stuff. But I don't know. It's fun to do and get to talk to amazing people that do what they love to do, Bigfooting, paranormal, and all that crazy stuff. But tell us a little bit, like, where people can find you and see your content, especially the documentary
Yeah.
that you got coming. Talk a little bit about that before we go.
So the documentary, it's called The Vanished, and it's going to come out in 2026 in January. It's going to be on the Channel 12 network. So you can subscribe. It's $9.99 a month, or for a one-time view, it's like $14.99.
Oh,
And
wow.
so you can visit me at Natalie Smearman for Facebook and also at Instagram. I'm posting on there every day and any updates regarding the documentary. And we're going to be filming again this fall. And so we're going to have more content coming at you.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited to see what's going to happen, especially I know you got a lot more stuff, and especially you got the Virginia.
Oh,
Bigfoot
yeah.
where it's
That's going to be, the West Virginia Festival is going to be insane.
Yeah, I wish I could go. Man, that
Thank you,
would've-
Brian.
Well, wait, hold
This
on.
week.
Let's see what he said. It says also haven't met Natalie. She's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we got to go Bigfooting, all of us. And
Oh, yeah, we do. That's going to be fun. Are you coming in October?
October. What's going on in October?
That festival, the first weekend of October down at Skunk Ape headquarters.
Oh, yep, I'll be there. Yep. I'm supposed to be there. I'll probably bring in my podcast stuff there too. So
Cool.
So I'll be interviewing a lot of people and doing all that cool stuff, and hopefully don't eat some beans by the fire. So
Yeah. We'll have an explosive time.
it'd be very explosive. Exactly. Bigfoot might just be like, "Who the hell is that guy?"
Like, what did I get myself into?
You're like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here. This guy's crazy." I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It should be interesting. Gotta run. You all have a wonderful day. Thank you, MK.
Okay.
Thank you, Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching the show. Like I said, couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are amazing. A lot of big things coming up. A lot of great people coming on the show. And please subscribe to Natalie Smearman and the Animal Expedition Files. Yeah, it's going to be a good week. And already tomorrow's Sunday. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But
Yeah.
we'll talk after the show. We're gonna cut to this little commercial here. But I hope everybody has a good weekend. Peace out, everybody, and drink some squatch juice.
Yeah. Bye.
Lights on. Dark Realm TV. Coming soon.